The time is 9 o'clock. You're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, I'm Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News here in Tantramar. Today, debate over burn rules, gaps in enforcement, and pressure on fire services in Tantramar. But first, Mount Allison University held its annual Night of the Mounties last weekend, recognizing top student athletes across a range of sports and categories. Several award winners have ties to New Brunswick, including athletes from Moncton, Woodstock, and Sackville. Basketball players Jonas Monroe and Daniel Alexander were named Male and Female Athletes of the Year, and Sackville's Jack Arsenault received the Men's Scholar Athletic Award, recognizing both academic and athletic performance. The Women's Scholar Athlete Award was won by Tallulah McNeil in badminton from Halifax, Nova Scotia. The event also highlighted contributions from beyond competition, including leadership, sportsmanship, and volunteer support within the athletics program. The recognition points to a strong regional presence within Mount Allison's varsity system, with local athletes continuing to play a visible role across teams. And now for today's story. Fire services came up multiple times at Tantramar Council last week, with discussions ranging from new burn rules to response times across the expanded region. Council is currently reviewing a new fire prevention bylaw that would apply across the entire municipality, replacing older rules that only covered Sackville. But not everyone agrees with how those rules should work. Councillor Barry Hicks raised concerns about requiring permits during the winter months.
I understand that a burning permit is required for Category 2, 3, and 4 fires. What I don't agree with is requiring a permit from the municipality for fires from November to April. I think we should be following the same regulations as the province, which allows burning in the winter months.
Tantramar Fire Chief Craig Bowser says the municipality is still reviewing how those rules could apply year-round.
So Councillor Hicks is correct. Currently, Department of Natural Resources issue burning permits through the third Monday in April till the end of October 31st. However, we have sent something off to legal to question and ask if it's something we can look at the whole physical year. That way it would give us a better understanding if there is large fires being set within the community out of that off-season.
Questions also came up around how amalgamation has affected who is responsible for issuing permits. Councillor Alison Butcher asked whether there had been a gap during the transition period.
I'm just wanting some clarification on a thing you mentioned at the very end of this report, which was that DNR does not issue permits now that we are a town, including all of Tantramar. Does that mean that since amalgamation till now, there has been an echo chamber, a void where, or was DNR still doing it until we get our act together with this and now they won't?
Bowser said that the transition hadn't been entirely clear, but enforcement now falls on the municipality.
What we did find out last year as it relates to wildfire season, and speaking with the Department of Natural Resources, we identified very quickly that as we are now identified a town, Department of Natural Resources does not have a jurisdiction over laying charges. It falls back to our bylaw officer for Tantramar.
Later in the meeting, there was a request from the Dorchester Fire Department to purchase a new high-volume portable pump. The pump would be used to move large amounts of water from ponds, rivers, or other hard-to-reach sources, especially in rural areas without hydrants. It's also meant to support tanker trucks during structure fires and wildfires. Dennis Reed is a captain with the Dorchester Fire Department. He explained how these portable pumps function alongside existing equipment.
So yes, all tanker pumpers come with a pump with the truck, like on the truck, like existing on the truck. But this is like a built-in pump. But this is a portable pump that is separate. It allows us to access remote sources. So if we have a lake or a pond or a river or another water source that isn't in close proximity to the truck, we need to access that water so those pumps can move beside the water source and relay water to a truck or to a fire.
The proposed pump would help standardize equipment across Dorchester's fleet and improve access to water across the municipality. The bylaw would also introduce new compliance rules for things like outdoor furnaces. Residents would have until the end of September 2026 to meet those requirements. At the same meeting, Council also reviewed how fire services are performing across the municipality. The latest report looked at 25 calls over a 1-month period, and in a few cases, response times were much longer than expected.
We had one call, which was 19 minutes in response time to scene. Due to that number, because of the fact we had 2 calls going on at the same time.
So crews did appear stretched across multiple calls at times, with at least one call having fewer than 6 responders, according to Bowser. He also says distance and geography are factors.
And outside of that, another 3 calls within the 25 reporting were exceeding the 14-minute response to scene due to travel times that related to either highway or outside of our former LSD coverage areas.
So in last week's council meeting, the discussion of a new fire bylaw, a request for a new pump for the Dorchester Fire Station, and the report that fire crews at times were quite stretched in the past month. The fire prevention bylaw itself is expected to return to council in April for further readings. If you have any questions or comments about today's local news, or let us know, are you for or against this new bylaw? We'd like to know about that as well. You can email news@chmafm.com. That's all for today's news. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News here in Tantramar.
Hey there, I'm Eric, and you're listening to CHMA on 106.9 in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. Police in Fredericton are investigating the discovery of human remains inside a small structure that was destroyed by fire. Late Thursday afternoon, officers were dispatched to a wooded area on the city's north side, where they found what they described as a small structure engulfed in flames. After the fire was extinguished, the remains were found inside and the major crime team was called in. As well, New Brunswick's coroner service is helping with the investigation. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he wants to increase competition in the electricity market to lower power bills. Last week, the Premier slammed a decision by the province's energy regulator to increase residential rates, saying the board failed to protect ratepayers. Houston says the only solution is more competition for privately owned Nova Scotia Power, adding that the government can't overrule the Independent Energy Board. Opposition politicians say the Premier could use legislation to get the job done. New Brunswick's Transportation Department has closed an old bridge in Sussex that spans Trout Creek near the community's downtown. Known as the Maple Avenue Bridge, it was closed on March 10th because of its poor condition. The department says the bridge, built in 1936, can't be repaired, which means a new bridge is needed. But the department says it remains unclear when that will happen. Veterinarians in PEI are raising concerns about New Brunswick's decision to phase out its public veterinary services, including a provincial lab. They say the move could affect public safety and animal welfare across Atlantic Canada. The Aquaculture and Fisheries Veterinary Laboratory in Fredericton is the only lab in the region certified to test for avian flu, swine fever, and foot and mouth disease. The New Brunswick government says the service will be phased out over the next 3 years and will be replaced by the private sector. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic update.
Special weather statement in effect for Moncton and southeast New Brunswick. Significant snowfall, ice pellets, and freezing rain are possible Tuesday night. Forecast guidance indicates a variety of wintry precipitation will likely affect much of New Brunswick Tuesday night. While it's too soon to provide specific details, the potential exists for significant amounts of snow, ice pellets, and freezing rain. Heaviest snowfall could mainly affect northern communities. Rapidly accumulating snowfall may create hazardous travel conditions. Ice buildup on trees and utility infrastructure may cause damage or outages. Even small amounts of freezing rain on untreated surfaces can make travel difficult. Snowfall and/or freezing rain warnings may be required as this event draws nearer. Please continue to monitor alerts and forecasts issued by Environment Canada. To report severe weather, send an email to nbstorm@ec.gc.ca or post reports on X using hashtag NBStorm. And now the weather. Today, mainly cloudy, 30% chance of flurries earlier this morning, rain showers beginning earlier this afternoon. Rainfall amount 2 to 4 millimeters. Wind becoming southwest 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50 earlier this morning. High of 7, wind chill -3 earlier this morning, UV index 3 and moderate. Tonight, showers ending this evening, then mainly cloudy with 30% chance of showers. Wind southwest 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, becoming light late this evening, low -1. Tomorrow, Tuesday, March 31st, becoming cloudy in the morning, snow beginning near noon, about 2 to 4 centimeters. Wind becoming northeast 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40 early in the afternoon. High +1, temperature falling to -3 in the afternoon. Wind chill -9 in the afternoon. UV index 3 or moderate. Tuesday night, snow or freezing rain, low -4. Wednesday, April 1st, freezing rain or rain, high of 0. Wednesday night, cloudy, low -7.
And now for the weather. Today we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud, becoming cloudy in the afternoon with showers, and wind becoming southwest 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50 in the morning. It'll be a high of 7 with a UV index of 4 or moderate. In the evening, it'll be mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of showers in the evening and after midnight. Wind southwest 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, becoming light near midnight, with a low of -1. On Tuesday, periods of snow with a high of +1. Going into the evening, we're looking at snow or freezing rain with a low of -4. As well, on Wednesday, we're looking at freezing rain or rain with a high of +1. Cloudy in the evening with a low of -4. On Thursday, cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries and a high of -1. Cloudy periods in the night with a low of -10. On Friday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 0, and then in the evening, cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries and a low of -3. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of +4. And that has been the weather forecast.
Hi, I'm Manly Liu, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
Check it out. Major League Baseball is our lead today as the Toronto Blue Jays sweep the Athletics over the course of the weekend down the Sky Dome, celebrating their American League Championship. They had 2 walk-off ninth-inning victories on Friday and Saturday, and yesterday they comfortably defeat the A's 5-2. In other action, we had the Orioles defeat the Twins. The Rangers defeat the Phillies 8-3. Kansas City defeats Atlanta 4-1. It was the Red Sox suffering their second loss of the year, a 3-2 final to the Reds. Took 10 innings for the Pirates to get past the Mets. 4-3 final there, and former Blue Jay Bo Bichette is not getting any love from the faithful, getting booed after several strikeouts over the course of the weekend. Miami Marlins 4-3 victory over the Colorado Rockies makes them 3-0 early in the season. Mariners defeat the Guardians 8-0. They have level up their record at 2-2. And the other undefeated team that was in action on Sunday, Milwaukee Brewers, they're 3-0 with a 9-7 victory over the Chicago White Sox. NBA season winding down as there's all about 6-7 games left for some teams. Playoff positioning in order. The Los Angeles Clippers defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 127-113. It was the Pacers by 17 over the Heat at home, 135-118. Nets defeat the Kings in a battle of draft lottery squads of 116-99. Celtics defeat the Hornets to get their 50th victory on the season, 114-99. It was the Toronto Raptors absolutely embarrassing the Orlando Magic at the Scotiabank Arena in downtown TO to the tune of 139-87. The Portland Trailblazers, they defeat the Wizards 123-88. Rockets over the Pelicans 134-102. It was the Thunder defeating the Knicks 111-100, and the Denver Chicken Nuggets, they defeat the Golden State Warriors at Ball Arena in Denver 116-93. Over on the ice, the NHL season winding down as well with just a handful of games left in the regular season. Rangers defeat the Panthers 3-1 at home. It was the Lightning by a tally over the Predators, 3-2 final there. Montreal Canadiens, they defeat the Hurricanes on the road, a 3-1 final there. Bruins defeat the Blue Jackets 4-3 in a shootout. New Jersey defeats Chicago 5-3 at home, and it took overtime for the Philadelphia Flyers to get past the Dallas Stars 2-1. Also checking out other things around the sports world, Gary Woodland, he wins the Houston Open golf tournament by 5 strokes. In the Formula One, it was the Japanese Grand Prix over the weekend, and A.K. Antonelli takes the checkered flag in that one in a time of 1 hour and 28 minutes. NCAA March Madness gets down to the Final Four. Yesterday it was the Michigan Wolverines embarrassing the Tennessee Volunteers 95-62 in a dramatic comeback for the University of Connecticut Huskies. They defeat the number 1 overall seed Duke Blue Devils 73-72. UConn and Michigan will be joining Illinois and Arizona as the Final Four teams to compete in Indianapolis. And on the women's side of the ledger, it was UConn also, the women's squad defeating Notre Dame 70-52 to move on in that tournament, as well as UCLA defeats Duke 70-58. So both Duke squads are done for the year. And finally, over in the PWHL, it was the Ottawa Charge defeating the Seattle Torrent 2-0 yesterday. Boston Fleet doubles up the Minnesota Frost 4-2. And it was the Vancouver Golden Eyes on the road getting past the Toronto Scepters 3-2.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hello, my name is Lustin Lobo, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
In conjunction with Marshview Middle School, join for a once-a-week after-school homework help program focused on numeracy and literacy. The program will support students with completing homework, provide extra practice sheets or activities, and create a relaxed, supportive space to learn. The program runs Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m. at Bill Johnstone, starting February 5th and running until April 2nd. Excluding February 19th and March 5th. Registration is open at www.tantramrnb.com/programs. April is National Poetry Month, and you are invited to celebrate. Join on April 7th at 7 p.m. at Station 8 in Dorchester for a cozy evening of poetry. Come read, listen, and share your thoughts in a relaxed, welcoming space. Enjoy coffee, tea, snacks, and comfy couches as you connect with your community through poetry. This event is free and open to everyone. Cash and food donations will be gratefully accepted in support of the Station 8 Community Fridge.
Hey folks, this is a call for all artists in and around Tantramar. The Art Love Tour is coming to town and you're invited to showcase your talent. You can join them on April 16th at 6 p.m. at the Tantramar Veterans Memorial Civic Center. This is going to be an exciting live speed painting competition. Selected artists will have just 20 minutes to create a masterpiece in front of a live audience. So this is your chance to shine and connect with fellow creatives as you also share your art with the community. So don't miss out, folks.
Seniors, students, newcomers, and community members are all welcome at a neurodivergent affirming coffee hour every Wednesday downtown Sackville at 110 Main Street. That's the Sackville United Church from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join the crew from Open Sky Cooperative in coffee and conversation. Don't forget the free snacks. Everybody loves free snacks. See you there.
Hey folks, if you're looking for a way to spend your Saturdays, Duckies is hosting open mic night every other Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. Bring your acoustic music, poetry, comedy, or whatever creative spark you've got and take the stage or just sit back and soak up the vibes with your friends. That's open mic night at Duckies, celebrating local voices and good energy. See you there.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Hello folks, this is Wilson Moore, the host of the Bluegrass Jam, one of the longest running programs on the Voice of the Marshes, CHMA FM 106.9. The Bluegrass Jam is a program of bluegrass, old-time music and news that was first aired on CHMA in 1989. Our faithful listeners know there is no better way to start your Sunday morning at 8 a.m. than to tune in to the Bluegrass Jam. Don't forget folks, country rocks, but bluegrass rules.
Hello, everyone. You are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you are listening to the Late Morning Show. Today is Monday, March 30th. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend and is looking forward to the end of the month like I am. We have a lot of songs to get through, so let's get started. First up, we have Malia Rogers with Sunlight, A Good Death, and then we have Jessica Ray with I Was Made for Lovin' You.
Two sunbeams on the living room floor. My kid hands disappear into yours as we flip the pages of field guides, sounding out names of the insects I recognize. Muddy feet in that old valley town. Watch me walk in a black cap and gown. My whole life ahead, yours mostly behind. But both of us dizzy with pride for the way that you shaped me, like the waves shape the clay on the banks of the Fundy. I held to you tightly, but everything changes and everyone leaves. On a winter's day, the sunlight streaming in, the dog on the bed and a good fire going, and the music played, chieftains and the Bothy band. You took your last breaths to the sound of the bow, and I'll say to you now as I said to you then, I'm so glad you got a good death. Up on my toes to reach her rocking chair, My favorite brush through her falling out hair. I was too young to recognize the light, fading out slow like a painting in the sunlight. But you got us with the Irish goodbye. Slipped out the room when nobody was looking. Practiced that move so many times. When you were ready to go, you just do it. On a winter's day, sunlight streaming in, dog on the bed, and a good fire going, and the music played. Chieftains and the Rothley band, you took your last breaths to the sound of the bow. And I'll say to you now, as I said to you then, I'm so glad you got a good dad. I'm so glad you got a good dad. Whoa, whoa, someday. Oh, everything changes and everyone leaves someday. Someday. Tonight, I wanna give it all to you. In the darkness, so much I wanna do. Oh, tonight, I wanna lay it at your